Near to far, far, it's Star Wars and Smile! Just when you thought there were more than enough Star Wars podcasts in the galaxy, this is the podcast you didn't know you were looking for. Please don't move along. Shorter than a stormtrooper and more laughs than a mob of musical monkey lizards, Star Wars and Smile is the back-to-tank to your Wampa wounds. Now turn that frown halfway around and get ready to laugh it up, you fuzzballs of the fandom. It's time to Star Wars and Smile!
Episode 4. What are Midichlorians?
Welcome to Star Wars and Smile. I'm Cam, and I like Star Wars and making people smile. Also, my M count is low. It's very low. Like, lower than my current number of listeners low. But don't worry, you can like and share Star Wars and Smile with the galaxy. And regarding M counts, Dr. Star Wars has a midi-chlorianated episode of Star Wars Mansplained today, featuring his special guest and Star Wars Celebration Japan panelist, Scotty Jayro of the infamous Bombadcast. But before we hand things over to Dr. Star Wars and meet Scotty Jayro, in honor of Scotty's favorite Star Wars film and his favorite musical genre, here is country music superstar Tex Tyler's musical rendition of the Phantom Menace opening crawl, TURMOIL, from his album, Country Crawls.
Turmoil has engulfed the galactic republic. The taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute. Hoping to resolve the matter with a blockade of deadly battleships. The greedy trade federation stopped all shipping to the small planet of Naboo. Now listen, while the Congress of the Republic endlessly debates this alarming chain of events, the Supreme Chancellor has secretly dispatched 2 Jedi Knights, the Guardians of Peace and Justice in the Galaxy, all to settle the conflict. Woo-hoo. Oh, that's right. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic.
Thanks, Tex, for that humdinger. I can't wait for your next country crawl to hit the airwaves. Well, now it is time to hear from one of the most knowledgeable Star Warsians in the galaxy. And I'm not talking about Dr. Star Wars, but please don't tell him I said that. No, I am talking about my friend from the Bombadcast, Scotty Jayro. Scotty has become such an expert in Star Wars, specifically when it comes to those sentient microscopic organisms that inhabit every far, far away life form, known as Midichlorians. In fact, he has created quite a thesis on the subject, so incredibly thorough that he shared his knowledge in his own Star Wars Celebration panel in Tokyo, Japan. But instead of listening to me talk about Scotty, let's hear Scotty talk about Scotty with someone far more knowledgeable than I am about Star Wars, Dr. Star Wars. And here is today's episode of Star Wars Mansplained.
It's Star Wars Mansplained! Put brands in their place, one Padawan at a time. And now, here's your host, Dr. Star Wars. And has he got some mansplaining to do?
Welcome to Star Wars Mansplained. I'm your host, Dr. Star Wars, because if there was a hospital for people who don't know as much about Star Wars as me, I'd be the chief medical officer. Well, and speaking of Star Wars and people thinking they know more than the rest of us about Star Wars, and specifically medical stuff about Star Wars, let's meet today's guest, or Padawan as I like to call them. Please welcome today's guest, who's the partial host of the Bombadcast, who also claims, as of recent, to be an actual doctor when it comes to Star Wars genetics. Please welcome the pretend practitioner of Palpatinian Petri dish propaganda, Scotty Jayro. Jayro, welcome to Star Wars Mansplained, Gyroscope.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Star Wars.
Thank you. You cool with Gyroscope, right? All right.
For the most
Good.
part, yes.
All right.
That's how I...
Well, welcome. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Thank you, Dr. Star Wars. It's an honor to be here to talk with a fellow doctor. Our PhDs may be in different fields, but it's still an honor. It's still an honor and a privilege.
I appreciate that. You can just call me Doctor. You can skip the Star Wars.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll call you Gyroscope. Okay, because we settled.
Is that a licensing?
We settled that at the beginning.
Okay, that's a licensing thing?
Okay,
is that
I don't know what you're
reason?
saying, but let's keep going. We got a show here to run. My show.
Yes, sir.
I'm the one doing the mansplaining licensing.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, my attorney. So, I know you're itching to get to your fake thesis on Star Wars biology, but first, let's talk about you, Gyroscope. Why Star Wars? When Star Wars? What is that thing on your door in the background?
That's a cardboard cutout.
Oh, I thought you had Boba Fett over there for a minute or something.
Nope, it's just a cardboard. Dr. Star Wars, I appreciate your observations, though. But I've got, growing up, I was a Star Wars fan as a kid, Doctor.
That's fine. Yeah, go for it.
I've got a couple of awesome collectibles in my vicinity right here.
I can see you've made sure they're all right in the screen so we can all see how much you know about Star Wars.
I love it.
Thank you so much.
I love it. And I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt too, Doctor. So
look at that. 20 years.
Patient.
Oh, wow. That's all. Well, I'm also wearing a Star Wars short. It's the periodic table of Star Wars villains, if you can see it here.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, just more.
Where? Hey, Dr. Star Wars, where are you on that?
You need to keep it quiet. Remember your place. I'm no villain. Maybe, I don't know if hero's the right word. It's not strong enough. I don't know. I don't want to jump into savior territory, but one thing I'm thinking is this shirt, it kind of represents, that I am an actual doctor of Star Wars.
I can tell.
I like to wear this one quite a bit. Especially when I have contenders, guests come on who think they, you know a lot about Star Wars, and I understand.
Well, as a another person that's studied in this field and that loves this field, quite like yourself, to have the privilege to actually talk to you and see you eye to eye on some things, especially midichlorians, is going to be very exciting. And to tell you about my journey, I grew up with I don't know what your favorite Star Wars is, but mine is the Phantom Menace. I don't know where that one ranks.
Good one. All right. So anyway, seriously, but what is your favorite one?
The 1999 thematic masterpiece, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is my favorite one, Doctor.
Oh, so you was no tongue in cheek on that. That was okay. All right. Fair enough. Keep going, Scout.
Well, so thank you. So I was a kid when it came out in 99. I was about 5 years old. So here I am, 5 years old, kind of the age that some people saw their first Star Wars at for a lot of people in the 70s and 80s. And, we were this new generation of kids seeing it, when we were going into it with different feelings and expectations than those people. I don't know, Dr. Stars, I don't know your age. Well,
that is a personal question. You don't ask a gentleman his age, but I will say that I was there for the beginning of it all. And so I feel like that probably gives me a little more reputability on knowledge.
Maybe.
Because I didn't start with the Phantom Menace. I kind of already knew what was going on. So I'm sure you were confused.
Yeah.
Like, is Palpatine good? Is he bad? So a different experience.
Well, story is story, mythology is mythology. You kind of have to go at it with what you. And I was a little kid. I was 5, so I didn't have that much to really be concerned with at the point. I thought Jar Jar was great. I thought he was hilarious. And if I'm not mistaken, most people from the Doctor Star Wars or Doctor from that generation don't like Jar Jar. I don't know why. I think there's a disconnect there, maybe.
I don't know if it's as much of a disconnect. Maybe just I don't dislike Jar Jar. He's certainly not my favorite anything. He's kind of I probably hate him. Yeah, I despise him, honestly, once I think about it. So
yeah. What but for me, it was a fun little dinosaur guy, and in the 90s was very synonymous with dinosaurs for some reason. Couldn't tell you why.
Yeah,
90s was...
Scotty, I just want to take a minute. Jar Jar is actually what's known as a Gungan. Dinosaurs aren't in Star Wars. He's a Gungan. That's G-U-N-G. There's other letters, but it's Gungan. So there you go.
He looks a little bit like a flat-billed, dinosaur from 65 million years ago. So I'm just kind of basing it off what I've seen.
Yeah, I understand. With your limited knowledge, you would think he was a dinosaur, but he's actually Star Wars is a long time ago, far away, nowhere near here or Earth. Probably longer than 65. I would guess 80 or 90 million years if I had to guess when it happened.
Okay, good guess. I was just saying that there is a connect there in my 5-year-old mind. Well, so I feel like you're negating the ideas of a 5-year-old.
I got you. So speaking of the disconnect here, let's keep going because I feel like we're getting way off track. I don't care about discussing Jurassic Park or World or Chris Pratt and none of that. Fine. So let's keep going, all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Doctor, please.
Yes, doctor.
Tell us about your attempt at podcastery. Tell us about your Bombadcast. Oh, another. I'm guessing this is another Jar Jar reference. Yeah.
Reference.
I should have probably read over the notes a little closer before accepting all of your DM requests about your promotion.
Yeah, I sent you a lot. I'm just excited.
I can tell. I can tell. The audience can tell.
They can certainly tell.
So tell us about your cast and your unhealthy obsession with Jar Jar Binks, who's not a dinosaur, Gungan.
The Bombadcast is a show that I host with Jerry, the Canon Junkie Cable, who I think would be I would love to see a doctor and a junkie go at it. That would be something that would excite me.
What makes someone a junkie? Is it like the spice or what? What is?
For him, it's the amount of things he's taking into his system that are Star Wars related.
So he likes the weaponry. He likes all of the cannons and the lasers. Yeah.
Maybe. He also likes the lore and the mythology and the creativity and all the things that make up Star Wars. But I do this podcast with him. We've been doing it now for 6 years.
Wow, 6 years.
That's a long time every week.
And people are listening to you? Like people actually listen to you ramble about dinosaurs and whatever he's talking about, junkie?
Yeah, if you can only, he talks about his addictions and everything. It's beautiful. But so every week we go live Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, the Bombadcast YouTube channel. And we cover all kinds of fun stuff. Obviously right now
it sounds exciting. Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's there's nothing quite like it. We've had a couple of people, in your sphere, Dr. Star Wars, come and join. I don't know if you heard the creator named Cam Ray. You ever heard of Cam Ray?
Can't say I have. It sounds familiar though. I feel like there's something that we did Does he have that Star Wars and Smile thing, that podcast?
Sometimes.
Oh,
Well, but I know that he likes to go by camera now.
Okay.
No longer Camera. He didn't really he got rid of the E and it's just camera.
Weird. Okay. So
Yeah, it's really cool.
If he was a car, he would get rid of the A and write Camry, because it's a car name. He probably drives one. It sounds like it.
He probably does drive a Camry. But all that being said, we've had the privilege to do this stuff for years, and we've had a couple of awesome hits with it. We've had some interviews with people like Seth Green. Do you know who Seth Green is, Dr.
I'm sorry.
Star Wars?
I started to nod off. It got really really braggy for a minute.
Sure.
Yeah,
No,
I lost track of all the names being dropped. Could you start over, please, at the end?
And so I'll wrap this up real quick then. We just have a lot of fun, and we watch VHS tapes and we hang out. It's kind of a reactionary experience if you ever join in, and we like fan submitted things as well. And Dr. Starr, I think you would make a great appearance one day. I don't know if you're into that sort of thing.
Well, I do
Doctor.
like VHS tapes. I mean, that's pretty much what I consume my Star Wars media on. So that does sound pretty interesting, because it is the the epitome of video consumption is the VHS tape.
For the most part, yeah. I know you probably don't like Disney Plus.
What is that?
Do you?
I'm not sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not really big into the cartoons and Disney's and all of the Dumbos and all of that.
Okay, that's cool.
I guess I have you on, so let's keep going. Jar Jar's a dinosaur. This guy. Okay, so now let's keep going. Tell me about your exhausting research on Midichlorians and how you found a time as working adult to spend as many hours studying fake genetics of Star Wars, or as I call it, Jedi-netic. So tell us about I understand you've done some research on Midichlorians, so.
Midichlorians, and honestly, yes, it's been a very fruitful venture for me personally. I'll go into a little bit of as to why, but I want to ask you, Doctor, if you don't mind me, what do you know about them so I can kind of give you more of a guidance as to what I know about them?
Well, I do mind, because it's my show, so I'm asking you the questions. But thanks for pretending this is the Bombadcast. Now you're done. I will tell you one thing, though. They're Midichlorians because they're really little. And don't tell me I don't know what they're called, because I've literally got a tattoo of a Midichlorian on my forearm.
There's one.
And if you can notice, it's M-I-N-I Midichlorian, all right? And that's permanent, so I wouldn't have something misspelled put on my body for the rest of my life here on the earth. So,
okay, so
I know
there are
a lot.
also people that have Star Wars tattoos that don't know that much either. I don't know if you're aware of that, but sometimes it's better to be humble to like say, oh, I don't really understand this, and I'd have someone that maybe knows a little bit more to walk me through it. As a doctor, you probably practice that in your profession of like people coming to you saying, hey, I'm not quite understanding what's going on. Can you explain this to me?
I'm so glad you've at least fessed up and have admitted your level of intelligence versus mine. And, that is the first step, is humbling yourself. So just tell us about your research and what you found personally.
Well, the big preconceived notion amongst people, and they may be in your generation, was that midichlorians equated to power levels, kind of like a video game, XP in a video game, where the more midichlorians you had in your bloodstream, the more powerful you would be. It equates to that.
Yes.
Well, I'm here to break that preconceived notion that more than likely that interpretation is now antiquated in the sense that midichlorians, when you really look at it, it just shows how open you are to the Force, right? The opportunity to be open to the Force. And for someone like Anakin, who was born of the Force, more than likely he would have more midichlorians in his body because he does not come from, two different parents. He comes from a virgin birth, if you will, from Shmi Skywalker. And with that, I think you're dozing off. Hey, Mr. Doctor, sorry, you seem to be drifting.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, all right. Anything else?
I have a video essay on the subject. If you're interested in watching it, or if anyone of the
I got a
audience
hold
is
of it.
watching.
Actually, I got a hold of your video essay.
Oh yeah.
I turned it on for a couple minutes, and I did made it through about, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds of it.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I wonder if it could be a good sleeping tool for your patients. Put it on, go get yourself a nap. But it's 2 hours. It's a 2-hour long essay. It compiles 24 different sources, direct quotes from George Lucas, and it kind of goes into what the meaning of it all is, the symbiosis of all life that we surround us. As a doctor, you probably see that, but life is so much more complex than we lead it on to be. Just like midichlorians are. For the most part, there's the
Midichlorians.
Midichlorian, the interconnectedness of everything around us, and the beauty of nature that is within and without. That's something to be said about it. And all George was trying to do was convey that idea effectively, and using a different tool. It's just mythological. It's very interesting. It's kind of like a Awa in the Star Wars, the Avatar franchise. I don't know if you have a doctor in that field too.
No, but, I focus all my energy on Star Wars so I can mansplain people like you who come in here talking about Jar Jars and dinosaurs. Hey, I appreciate you kind of telling us a little bit about your 2-hour lecture on mini-chlorians. If people are interested in seeing that, where can they see this 2-hour lecture on mini-chlorians?
On the Bombadcast YouTube channel. All you got to type in is Midichlorians. And honestly, it should be one of the first things that pop up. It's got like 2,000 views on it.
Question, if I type in sleep deprivation tools for recovery, will it come up at the top of the list? Because I think it should if it doesn't already.
Well, we do have a Rick McCallum sleep aid video. So if you haven't watched that is an actual video that we compiled together of sleep aid. So it's the Rick McCallum sleep aid, and you can listen to interviews with Rick McCallum and discussions of him to fall asleep to. It's got ocean sounds, and it's very beautiful. Very calm.
It sounds great. Don't know who Ricky McCallow is, but I'm sure it's great. Well, I'm thinking it's probably just you and the junkie just playing episodes of your podcast, or maybe it's just your lecture on a 10-hour repeat.
It could be.
Yeah, probably is. It is. Just decided, hey, gyroscope, if you were to guess how many mini-chlorians I have circulating through my veins, why would the answer be more than 30,000 per cell?
Okay, so as a doctor, you probably know this. You got to do something called a blood test to determine those things. Anakin had over 20,000 in his blood cell.
Right.
But that's the thing. Midichlorians are a lot like mitochondria in the sense that they are an organelle within the makeup of your cell. And mitochondria, of course, is where we get ATP from that makes energy. And they help us split the cells to make more cells.
I can't. Thank you. Thanks, Scotty. Let's keep going. Finally, quickly, please tell us about your Star Wars celebration and your lecture. Were you invited, weaseled your way in, you're paid off, your Disney shill, expecting anyone to actually attend this thing? Is it going to be 2 hours? I mean, is this the condensed version or the elongated one? I can't imagine anyone.
So this is actually like an addendum version of my essay where we add things from shows like The Bad Batch and The Acolyte, information that those shows revealed into them as well. But I wasn't invited. I submitted I guess you could say a panel idea to them.
Got it. Weaseled way in. Got it. All right. I'll check that off. Got it. All right.
Yeah, for the most part. And, I'm people would call me a shill if they didn't know me, because how much I love this stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I know you now, and I still call you a shill. So, yep, that's debatable.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's fine. No, I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm going to Japan, and I'm going to have an hour-long presentation April 18th at 3 p.m. at Makuhari Messi. There will be a live stream of it, hopefully on the channel as well, and a video after of me actually presenting my research and the concept. So far, it's 176 slides. So I'm going to take some time over the next couple of weeks until we got about 39 days until I get to Japan.
Wow. I'm just wondering how many times you're going to brag about going to Japan while the rest of us don't get to go because, like, we've got real jobs and bills to pay.
So I took off work.
Wondering.
I took off work.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I took, well, okay. I'm an educator, and I took off work for that time leading up. Pardon?
Oh, nothing. Sorry. Something in my throat. Don't worry about it.
I teach middle I teach middle schoolers,
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
knew
teaching the future generation. Oh, okay, the future youth about things like computers and science, and so
And
I'm not saying I'm
mispronunciations of
qualified.
mini-chlorians, dinosaurs, or gungans.
Okay.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, but having the opportunity to talk about this with other people that may have some sort of fascination with mini-chlorians, much like yourself, has been an absolute privilege. I've guested on a couple of podcasts similar to this one, not quite as harsh, but similar to this one, talking about this subject and what it means to me, and to be able to promote it and hype it up has been very exciting for me.
I'm glad somebody's
and-
excited, because I tell you what, I need a coffee. Stat.
Yeah,
Nurse.
Hopefully. Nurse. Oh wow. But yeah, so it's all about the sacred nature of it all. We all get to go and experience Star Wars in a reverent way in Japan.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right, before we give you the ventilation shaft, where can our listeners find you and your medical musings of megalomania on the antisocials?
So one of the Star Wars celebrations in Chicago 2019, I had the privilege to watch the Rise of Skywalker trailer. And if you look it up, if you want to find the Bombadcast easiest way, all you have to do is just type in Star Wars reaction. More than likely an image of me would come up, and I'm like, I'm doing that because I'm so excited for the Disney Star Wars projects. And I'm excited to be watching the trailer with like 60,000 other.
You know what? I want to see you make that face again. Thanks for coming on, Gyroscope. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us for this week's episode of Star Wars Mansplained. I'm Dr. Star Wars, and we'll see you next time. And until then, may the Force be with you.
That was an incredible interview, and I am still just baffled at how someone as smart as Scotty can be completely mansplained by the much smarter Dr. Star Wars. Scotty gave it his best, though. I can't stress enough, even if it's just for sympathy views, how you should each check out Scotty's Midichlorian thesis on YouTube. Also, check out the Bombadcast with Scotty and his co-host, Jerry the Canon Junkie, also a Star Wars genius. And Scotty Jayro announced at the end of his Star Wars Celebration Japan panel that he is now a published author, and his book, Midichlorians, An Alliance of Science, Mythology, and Magic, is now available on Amazon.com. My copy just arrived today, and I can't wait to dig in. Link in the show notes. And now we have, just like him, a very short monkey lizard moment with my favorite
Well, hello there.
master lizard.
I'm really your favorite monkey lizard.
Well, you're my only monkey lizard.
Oh, shucks. Thanks, Cam.
You're welcome. So what do you have for today's monkey lizard moment, bub?
I thought you'd never ask. Well, in honor of all of this Midichlorian talk, I thought I'd share a little ditty I've been working on entitled, What Are Midichlorians?
Well, bub, I have to say I am intrigued. Punch it, bubby.
What are midichlorians? I really wanna know. Are they tiny Mandalorians? Man, I really miss that show. Is McClunky to the Rhodians a synonymous idea? Or is Dankaveric more the meaning meant by Greedo filled with fear when Han tried first? Hey, what's a new town anyway? I bet you Dooku knows why Anakin's, Yoda's, and Grogu's are While I can't even count my toes, and I only have 6. Some say midichlorians can speak, but I can't hear them. I have heard one Sith Lord even use the Force to create life with them. But I am not a Sith Lord, nor a Jedi, or historian. So for now, my lot in life is just wondering, what are midichlorians?
That was beautiful. And totally wizard, bub.
I know, Cam. Thank you for strongly considering adopting that pet loath cat I've been begging you for.
Bub, you know how I feel about loath cats.
Cats. You have a strong loathing for cats. But loath cats are totally different. You don't like monkeys or lizards, but you love me.
Love is such a strong word. Plus, hey, we're out of time, bub. I'll think a little more on the whole loath cat thing, but...
So that's a yes?
I don't know. Maybe?
It's a yes, it's a yes, it's a yes, yes. Thank you, Cam. Thank you.
Well, I'm afraid I might be adding a member to the family. But for now, it is time to wrap things up. And that means it's time for this week's Star Wars and Smile. Anytime you are online and see someone or something Star Wars that makes you smile, give them an encouraging comment along with the hashtag or phrase Star Wars and Smile. Our randomizer droid, RAY2, will select one hashtag at random to feature the post on the next episode, and you will receive a shout out and a semi-prize. RAY2, who is this week's Star Wars and Smile?
This week's Star Wars and Smile winner is the Backyard TARDIS.
That's so awesome! Nicholas, a good friend of mine, known as the Backyard TARDIS. He's a big Doctor Who fan. I don't know what that's about. But all I know is that Nicholas is one of the most positive and cool guys online. You can find him on X at BackTARDIS. And I highly recommend you follow him because he surely is one guy who knows how to force and smile. And now, your prize for winning this week's Star Wars and Smile special assignment is you get to be a guest on an upcoming episode of our brand new game show, The Intergalactic Pun Races! Intergalactic Fun Races! The Intergalactic Pun Races! There'll be more details in a future episode, but for now... Well, this party's over for now, but I do hope you'll all come back next time. And remember, when you Star Wars, you should always Star...
You have just survived another episode of Star Wars and Smile! Be sure to check out the hundreds of cameras in my productions on the Anti-Socials, including special video elements from this show! And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share them with the galaxy! Until next time, I'm Chuck Eubanks, reminding you all to have your monkey lizards bathed or showered. May the smiley face be with you!
That's all, fuzzballs.
Star Wars and Smile is the semi-official podcast of Camray Semi Productions. No Bothans were harmed to bring you this podcast. Any reproduction and distribution of this content is completely supported. All critics and crybabies should direct their complaints to the law offices of Stanley and Fellamore and Fellamore.
Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic.